Welcome to my channel, Cargo Jamrock, where we discuss God, family, friends, diabetes, homeless people, relationships, struggles, rise and fall.
How are you today?
I'm pretty good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. What's your name?
My name's Bill.
All right, Bill.
Yeah.
So today I want to ask you 5 questions, Bill, because I see you on the street. So I'm intrigued to know what happened and how you reach on the street. So I need 5 biggest mistakes that you made that put you where you are today.
I mean, to start off, it'd probably be dropping out of high school. That'd be the beginning.
Yeah.
After that, it'd probably be drugs and alcohol. That was the big part. And mismanaging my money. Going along with what other people say. Not taking responsibility. Not paying my bills. Not being not going to work when I should have. That's a big part of it. And thinking that it's all gonna somehow be taken care of by somebody else. That's a big part. And there's a lot of reasons why you continue to stay out here. It's like because it's so hard once you get to this point, to bring yourself back up. And like people give you a chance to do that. It's like to get back to work. It's hard to get a shower and get clothes, and you're when it's hard when you're hungry. It's like to go. It's really hard to go back to work when you can't. Eat. That's a big part of it too. It's like you got dirty clothes, nobody wants to hire you. It's a downward spiral.
So your situation is caused by you or downfall by someone else?
Situations caused by what?
What caused your situation? Was the downfall started by you or?
Oh, it's most certainly me. Yeah, most certainly. Like I said, the drugs and alcohol in my early 20s.
Early 20s?
Yeah.
How old are you right now?
I'm 45 now.
You've been on it since then? Since in the 20s?
I've been homeless since I was about 30, 31.
Yeah, that's a lot of years been homeless.
Yeah. So,
is that by choice?
No, not at all. It's just, I had a lot of problems, with my mom and dad were alcoholics, and, that kind of threw me into the whole scene, and from there on out, I'm not blaming them. That's definitely, I take responsibility of it.
Yeah.
It's like, but, there's certain things I should have done, like, stayed in school for one, and kept my jobs. Definitely not listen to people. That's a big part. It's, just, come hang out with us, go do this on the weekend, and it turned out to be an everyday thing, and all of a sudden you have no money, you have no job, you're getting kicked out of your place, all of a sudden you're living on the streets, and you're lucky if you get a tent. That's the whole thing. It's like, and it's not easy once you get there. You're dirty, you can't get clothes, you can't get food, people look at you differently.
Yeah.
It's like you're definitely profiled when you walk into a store. It's like they don't want you there. It's like it's hard. It's hard to get back on your feet. It really, really is. And not to say I couldn't have. It's just it's really hard once you get, like I said, once you get to that point, you just don't have much will to do anything else because it's so hard to get back to where you were.
So, what motivates you day by day? What keeps you motivated?
Unfortunately, survival, food. Like that's a big part of it. It's like, people think that you're living this glorious life on the street. You're not doing anything. You're lazy, but it's not necessarily true. It's like it's a hard world. It's like you work every day to get what normal people would just,
There's still a job out here in the streets.
It's way more than a job. It's it's overtime for sure. It's like all the time you're looking for something,
So, if you should go back 10 years, what would you do different?
I would definitely lay the alcohol and the drugs down for sure. That's the number one thing. The other one would be to keep my job. You know, like that's very important. Like that's really more important than anything else is to be stable, and you know that keeps you from doing all these other things because you don't have the time to do that. You're focused on your job, and that's what you should do to stay out of this situation. That's really number one thing is to work. You know, that's the truth. If
So
you can, you know.
tell me what a regular day is like from waking up in the morning.
Well, if you wake up in the morning, I mean, that's sometimes you sleep all night because it's cold. You know, and that's another part of it. You know, you might not sleep. You know, you wake up and hopefully you go out and you know you try to find some way to get something to eat. You know, to start with something. You know, to maybe clean up if you can find somewhere that'll let you do that. And get something to drink. You know, that's always the thing. You know, liquid. You know, and a lot of these places won't even let you get water. You know, they'll charge you for a cup or whatever. You know, or can you go in their bathroom? Maybe not. Maybe they won't give you the key. You know, so it's tough. And then you know that's just the morning. You know,
That's just the morning.
Just the morning. You know, lunchtime comes around. It's the same thing. You're hungry. Maybe you'll find something. Maybe you won't. You know. And you know, as it gets further into the day, you start worrying about what are you gonna do for the night again? You know, it's like, are you gonna stay warm tonight? Are you gonna have anything to eat? Are you gonna have to deal with some crazy people out there on the streets harassing you? I mean, that happens too. You know, I've had that more than once for sure. You know, people trying to take what you have, and you don't have much, so.
You gotta protect what you do have.
You gotta protect what you got, and people will take it if you let them. You know, and that's that. And police, I haven't even mentioned that. You know, they will definitely harass you and try to make you leave, for sure. But where do you go? You know, and jail's not a home. You know, it's just another cycle of. I go to jail, and then what? Then you release me, and then I'm worse off than I was before.
You gotta play catch up.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're lucky, like I said, you can come up and hopefully somebody will help you and maybe give you some work and maybe you can clean up somehow. And
So when the police they'll hold you, how long they hold you for?
huh?
When the police they hold you, how long they hold you for?
It depends on what you've done, but I mean, if you like, if you're asking for money, that's a charge. If you're asking,
That's a charge.
Oh yeah, I mean, panhandling is what they call it. You know, it's like just sitting there. I mean, you don't even have to ask for money. You can just be sitting there, and they can arrest you.
So when they do that, like just for that, how long they hold you for?
I mean, you could stay in, if you went to the court date, it could be a couple months, or you could just plead guilty, which is what they want you to do. And then they may let you out in a week or so. But then when you go back out, like I said, what do? You go back to the same situation and they'll arrest you again. Or loitering, if you're hanging out around a place, trying to get air conditioning during the summer or heat during the winter, they'll kick you out or they'll arrest you. So it's hard, like I said, like you end up in the woods and you end up not wanting to be in contact because you don't want to go to jail, or worse, I mean, be harassed by people and that don't understand what you've gone through, and we're, not everybody on the street is, bad people, yeah, there's a lot of them that are, and most of it is drugs or alcohol or, mental illness or. I mean, some people are there, unfortunately, because of finances, and maybe they had a lot of kids or something, and they tried to pay their bills, and the state took them away, and they got evicted, and I mean, there are people that give up because of that. When their kids are taken away. I've heard that a few times. I've seen that a couple times. It's tough. It's like, and if you have any family, like, definitely reach out to them because. You're lucky, because not everybody has that.
That's true.
Yep.
So Um, before we close off right now, I want you to tell my people one last thing before you go. Let them know what brought you here and what is a sign. Let them know the signs of the beginning when they know that you're going the way that you're in right now.
When you start to live, that life, that party life that you think's okay, like maybe you started on the weekends or something, or drank a couple drinks here, or smoked a joint, or did that, or whatever. When it starts to be an everyday occurrence, or you wake up in the morning doing it, that's a big sign that you need to change your life. Or your boss tells you you're doing something wrong, or or your bills are piling up and you're not paying them. You think it'll be okay. It won't. You'll end up where I am, and you'll be asking for money every day and trying to get back ahead. And I hope that if it happens to you, I hope that you can bring yourself back out, because most people don't.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, a lot of them are good people, but other people don't see them that way. There's something, they're scum, or they're whatever, or they're bad people, or they're criminals, or not all of us are, man. That's, some of us just had a bad go, and or had substance problems, or maybe they have mental illness, or like I said, I mean, it can happen to anybody and for any reason. It's, don't think you're above it. You might be watching this video and think, oh, that'll never happen to me.
True.
But it will, if you let it. I mean, tell your kids, if you have kids, make sure that you teach them right, and keep your job, stay in school. If you do have a drink or whatever, be responsible with it. It's like, keep it to a minimum. Don't do it on a daily. That's very important. It really is. It's like, look out for one another. I mean, that's the big thing. It's like, and the other thing is, if you have family, stick by them, because that's the most important thing.
All right, buddy.
Amen.
Really appreciate the time.
Yeah, man.
One love.
All right. My name's Chris. I am from Marysville, Michigan. I was always a party kid growing up. I used to do drugs and alcohol a lot. I did that all through from the time I was 14 until about a year ago. But when I was 20, my best friend, Garrett, died in a car accident. He was drinking and driving. And the month later, I lost my grandma, who helped raise me. And I kind of went into a downward spiral. I got into a very toxic relationship with the woman who is now my child's mother. She's a good person. We just didn't work well together. But my drinking got worse and worse. I was doing other drugs too, but drinking was my main thing. Like I said, I started drinking really young, and it wasn't really a problem until after everything happened. And then I got to where I would be sober for a month, and then it slipped back into the alcohol for 6 months, 7 months, be sober for a month. And I just kind of used it to numb everything. I kind of used it to shut myself out. I'm a very emotional person, so I used it to turn off everything. And you can only do that for so long until it doesn't work anymore. And then my mom, my dad, and my boss at work all told me I should go to rehab. My boss told me I could take the time off work, so I went to rehab for a month and a half. And it was hard, and I struggled a little bit, but I never relapsed. I've been sober for 10 and a half months now, and I am working hard to get to a year. The thing when I lost my best friend Garrett that really got me was we were really close. We worked together, we traveled together, we did everything together. He was drinking out on some back roads where we used to hang out when we were kids, and he took a turn too hard, and he flipped the car. I was supposed to be in the car with him that night, but I got called into work in the morning, so I didn't go. And losing him just really sent me into a downward spiral. And then, like I said, a month later, I lost my grandmother, who was a big part of my life. And, you know, sometimes when you lose a lot, you just get lost. And I got really lost. And, you know, finding my way back was not easy. It took a long time. I'm 33 now, so I was an alcoholic for about 10 years. On and off, but mostly on. And, you know, I have a son now, and his name is Joshy, and he's everything to me, and I wouldn't have been able to change from what I was without my son. He gives me the inspiration to keep going every day and to keep being a better person. He is my everything. I would do anything for him. When he was first born, he lived in Holland, Michigan, and I lived in Marysville, and that's on the opposite sides of the state. I have seizures, so I couldn't drive. So I used to take an 8-hour bus ride. I was working 50 hours a week. I would take an 8-hour bus ride on Friday to Holland. I would walk an hour to the hotel. I would have my son come stay with me for one night, and then the next day I would turn around and I would get on the bus and take the 8-hour ride back to work another 50-hour week. And, you know, I've been working really hard. I work 50-hour weeks right now. I do everything I can for my son. I'm a very present father. He lives 4 houses away from me with his mom. He's at my house almost every day. And, you know, I just want to say that as an alcoholic and somebody who's trying to recover, that you can recover from it and you can keep moving on with your life and you can keep doing better. But you just have to want it. And it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. You know, you don't have to just go on to AA or do anything in particular. Just as long as you want to stay sober, you can stay sober, and as long as you want to make your life better, you can make your life better. And yeah, that's all I got to say.
Beautiful.
Right exit 219 toward Morrison Drive.
There you go, my buddy Chris.
Can I get the name of your...
Hey, buddy, what's up? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. My name's Zach. I'm here in Myrtle Beach, and this is my story.
Okay, Zach. So, where are you from, Zach? Where were you born?
I was actually born in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, but I grew up in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Okay. How old are you right now?
I'm 33 years old.
Okay. So what brings you to Myrtle Beach?
I have a 2-year-old daughter that lives in the next town down in Surfside.
Okay. So, I wanted to give us a little backstory on you and your journey and life in Myrtle Beach.
Okay. It all started about close to 3 years ago when my baby mama Anastasia, she got pregnant, and she got pregnant with our daughter. And we'd struggled a little bit with drug use, and where we lived, you know, it was kind of rampant around us. So, and I had recently quit, but you know, she didn't really have the personal strength to and to be around it. So I had sent her to Surfside, to South Carolina, from Oklahoma to her mom's. So that way, you know, we could have a healthy baby and everything, and her not be around drugs. And she got to Surfside, and that worked, you know, and I was able to get up here, and we was able to have a healthy baby and everything. And then, not soon after we had our daughter, her mom just kind of out of nowhere kind of kicked me out because, you know, she felt like I wasn't giving her enough money. Or whatever. I was giving her as much as I could, but she felt like I wasn't giving her enough. And at this point, I had been sober probably 9 or 10 months, close to a year. And
Sober from what?
heroin.
Okay.
And so she kicked me out. And I'll just be the first to tell you, man, especially in a place like Myrtle Beach or something, it only takes about 2 days of walking around with nowhere to go and no funds and shit. And that shit'll have you ready to get high. So about 48 hours was my first relapse.
So you're saying it's easier to be hooked on drugs than Myrtle Beach?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's everywhere. But really, I feel like almost it depends on the person. You have to make up your mind whether you want to do it or not. Because one thing I've learned is that if you don't fix the problem, it doesn't matter where you go, where you move. You're just gonna carry your problems with you. You know. So,
True.
and us as addicts, it doesn't matter where we go or what it takes. No matter where we move to, we're gonna find it. We're gonna seek it out. We're gonna find it. You know, and that's just it's just how it is. So you have to personally decide that you want to fix the problem and that you're not going to do it no more.
Hmm. That's true. That's true. So you think that if you weren't homeless, would you be addicted to drugs? Or is because the fact that you were homeless?
Oh man, yes and no. Um, I want to say no though because when when I have somewhere to go and I have my shit together, I don't really miss drugs. I don't want drugs. I tend to be happy with the things I have, like my place, my car, my stability. You know.
Mm.
It just, but I'll say one thing: being out here on these streets and shit with nothing, it's very depressing. And I think one of the number one reasons people do drugs is because they don't want to feel no more, you know,
Mm.
and they do it so, you know, they don't have to feel that pain or go through the depression of being out here like that.
That's true. So how's the relationship with you and your child?
It's okay. Well, I'll be honest. A lot of times I feel like I'm not the father I should be because my dad was there, so I want to be there. You know, I feel like drugs hold me back from that, but a lot of it too is my mother-in-law. She doesn't always tend to let me see her when I'd like to, even though she's supposed to. But it is what it is. It'll definitely get better though, because I would say I'm tired of this life, so change is gonna come for sure.
So you got a plan?
Um, yes and no. I was thinking about going down to Coastal Wellness maybe and getting some Suboxone or Subutex, and then trying to go back to Oklahoma to go to maybe a facility. But I'm waiting on my baby mama. Of course, you know, living this life, you go in and out of jail. So I'm actually waiting on my baby mama to get out of jail right now. So it's supposed to get out today. So I mean, it's just one thing after another, you know.
Well, I feel you in that. I feel it. So how do you explain to me about this crave? Like, is it when you're depressed the crave is there, or when you're happy the crave is there? Like,
Well,
what?
first off, when you're addicted to heroin, the crave's always there. And it's a mean crave. It's a relentless crave. It doesn't let up, man. And it'll be there every few hours, man.
Every few hours?
Yeah. It's like the stuff you see on TV, people like freaking out, shaking, saying they need to get. Man, that's real, bro. That is real. It's one thing they didn't exaggerate about in the movies and stuff. Heroin, yeah, it's a mean drug. It's a nasty drug.
What keeps you going back to it?
I think the physical addiction, a lot of it's mental, but I mean, the physical addiction, man, when you go to get off of it and you don't have it, your body hurts, bro. It hurts.
Mm. So that's what keeps you going back.
Yeah.
Quench the pain.
Yeah. Plus, I've been shot twice and stabbed like 12 times, so.
12 times?
Yeah, man.
In the streets?
Yeah, these guys kidnapped me, man. Kidnapped me and tortured me for 3 days, bro. When I finally escaped, I was butt naked. That's a different story for a different time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. We do that at a different time.
I might give you the exclusive on that one, too.
Yeah, that's definitely a different time. Yeah, it's so at a regular night in the street, a regular day in the street. What's your regular day like in the street?
Man,
What's your goal?
ever since I lost my job, a regular day is You gotta get up, you gotta go to the store. First you gotta try to steal you something to eat, man. After you steal something to eat, then you gotta try to, I don't like fly a sign or nothing. I just talk to people, man. I feel like you do better that way. Have a personal conversation with somebody, look them in the eye. And I gotta try to ask people to wash some windows or wash the car or something for a little bit of money to get by through the day. But it's just horrible because most people are rude. They tell you no. Especially in like a fucking Republican state like goddamn South Carolina, you know, so.
Because one other thing about people is always thinking that you can go look a job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
that's one
I'll
of
be
the main
honest,
things.
yesterday I went down to Friendly's right down here, and then they sent me to the one on 48th, told me they'd use me up there. I went all the way up to 48th, caught the bus up there, tried to get a job as a dishwasher, and he said okay. But then when he looked down at the bottom of the paper right before it was all said and done, he seen my felony I had to put on there. And then it was all of a sudden, it was, well, okay, there's one other person I got to talk to because I have to talk to her because she has to talk to people too, and then we'll let you know. But the guy was the owner, so I don't see who else he has to talk to.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like it was because I had to put me on my felony burglary 2 charge, and he didn't see it at first. You know, so.
How's that
And
charge?
A burglary 2 charge, a felony charge like that, people don't realize that's hard to even get a fast food job because people think something like a burglary charge, you got to steal money out the register, or, you know. But that was a past life. I was a different person at a different time. But, you know, try to tell an employer that when you're trying to get a job. I mean, that was my exact words. I told him, but look, man, that was a different time and I was a different person. I'm ready to apply myself to this job, commit, and work. You know, I thought that was a pretty good speech, but I guess not. You know.
So what skills do you get to survive in the streets apart from hustling?
Man, I know how to do construction work, but it's all about running into the right person. Or maybe some, you know, find the Mexicans normally do construction work. Sometimes they'll hire you, but man, to be honest, it's kind of hard out here. You know, and then with living on the streets, you know, sometimes you can't always wash your clothes, you can't always take a bath. So then, like, the way you look really, you know, plays a factor into all that, man, and getting a job and shit. Just, sometimes the odds just start stacking against you. It gets real hard, man.
Definitely. So, on these streets, do you try to like just go through the day to survive, or you try to go through the day to survive to provide for your family?
At the end of the day, you know, I've always been about providing for my people and my family. So see, my wife, my baby mama, she's out here almost with me. She's in jail right now, about to get out.
Oh, it was both of y'all.
Yeah, but you know, everything I do every day, most of the time I do to take care of her. Like, I'll go in the store and if she gets hungry, bro, I'm not gonna let her go hungry. Whether I'm homeless and broke or not, I'll go in the store and steal her something to eat, and I give it to her. You know, I don't do nothing until she's taken care of first.
But there's facilities.
And I try to get my daughter things too throughout the day.
But there's facilities that you can get things to eat here.
Yeah.
Right?
There's one, but it's not always open. It's way down on the north end too. And, you know, you gotta have bus fare and all that. But there's one. That's
so,
it.
where you guys sleep at the end of the day?
Bro, I sleep on the ground on a sleeping bag in the woods.
In the woods?
Yeah.
So they're afraid of gator and stuff like that?
This is the only place in America too, bro. The police will pull up for you sleeping on the ground somewhere and take you slamp straight to jail for being homeless, having nowhere to sleep. They call it illegal camping. Look it up. Go straight to jail for it.
Illegal
There's no
camping.
prejudice on that. You are going straight to jail. Anybody sleeping on the ground.
So when they bring you in for like a charge, is that a charge or they just put you up for the night? What they call it? What they call it? Is that a charge? Or they just hold it for a few days?
They hold you for about 2 days. Sometimes they hold you for a week.
Yeah?
Until you get See that addiction kicking in already, losing energy.
Mm.
Man, sometimes they hold you for a week till you can get into misdemeanor court.
Oh.
My eyes start watering and shit. Well, it's all a part of it.
It will get better, bro. But it will get better. But
Yeah.
guess what? You gotta try to make it
That's
better,
it.
bro.
That's it. I gotta decide I want
Yeah.
better. You know?
As you said first, it's a mental. You gotta fix your mind first.
Yeah.
After you fix your mind, your body will follow.
Yeah.
But I know it ain't easy, like what I'm saying.
No, but
It ain't easy,
at
but
the end of the day, it kind of is because you just gotta make up your mind to do it.
yeah, that's why you got people out there doing wrong. It's so easy to do wrong.
Oh yeah, you know, it's a lot easier
It's a
to do
battlefield
wrong.
to
It's
do
hard
fight.
to do right. That's what
To
makes
do,
right,
yeah.
you know, the special thing to do because it's a lot harder.
Yeah. But we all fall, but don't. The problem is when we stay down.
Yeah.
You know, we are gonna fall because that's a human side of us. But it's when we literally stay down, when we give up, that's when we lost. You know,
Yeah.
you got so many people that been in your situation that
Yeah,
literally,
man. There's a whole beach full of them down there.
yeah, and some of them make it, and some just get lost in the, yeah. But don't give up, Zach. You
I
know,
won't,
it's
man.
a part of your testimony, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
You got a daughter.
Yeah.
You got a
I'm gonna
family,
have to do
bro.
another one of these in 60 days and see how different I look when we be sober. I promise.
Yeah, bro. I believe you, bro.
I promise.
I believe you.
I'm gonna make it happen.
Before it goes, Zach, I want you to try. I want you to tell someone right now how you're feeling because anybody can be watching this and reach out to you. I want to tell them your biggest mistake that put you in this situation right now. If you could have go back and change from that small thing that put you right here today.
I'll just be the first to tell you that your biggest mistake, man, is don't give up on your family and everything, and don't give up on what your family tells you they care about you, man.
I have no idea.
Don't fall into the pressure of the pressure of drugs, man. And if you make a mistake once, you know, don't think it's over. Okay, you're back down. You know, you can fall once and just get right back up and pick right back up where you left off on sobriety. If you have a relapse, you can turn around and pick right back up where you left off on sobriety, man. Just because you have a relapse once doesn't mean it's over. Pick right back up, man, and keep going. You know, don't give up, and your family cares about you. You know, listen to what people tell you, man, because when they're on the outside looking in, they can tell you. When they say, man, it's bad, it's looking bad, bro, it's looking bad. So, you know, and just don't give up. You got to make your mind up if that's what you want, man.
Appreciate it,
God
Zach.
bless y'all. My name's Zach.
Respect. You know, I had served 6 years in prison. When I was in my early 20s, you know, I was convicted of a 3-state crime spree, robbing pharmacies. I was in a police chase. It was really bad. I thought, you know, when I was in my mid-20s that after I got arrested, that my life was over. And it took me keeping my faith to be able to persevere through it all at the end of the day and be where I'm at today. And along also having my wife by my side. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be alive today either. So, you know, I kind of just want to talk a little bit about, you know, how, you know, just keeping your faith with your higher power. You know, in mine is Jesus Christ. And, you know, I don't mean to offend anybody's religious beliefs, but, you know, just keeping my faith with God, you know, really, really has been a blessing. And, you know, you got to take the good with the bad. I mean, of course, all your prayers aren't going to get answered, you know. For me, it was, the prayers, you know, I had to go through some pain, you know, but it's temporary. you know, but that pain, that temporary pain, you know, at the end of the day was a blessing. And, you know, to kind of reminisce a little bit about my experience was, you know, I was abusing Xanaxes with heroin.
All right. Okay, before you go there, just because I want to know where this is coming from. So tell me about your growing up.
Growing up, man, you know, I was one of those kids growing up that I only cared about, you know, my image. You know, I peer pressure really.
That's from friends or family?
Yeah, friends. Yeah, friends and family, actually. You know, everybody. You know, when you're a teenager, you know, you just want to fit in, and you know, when you got parents kind of letting you do whatever you want to do, you know, then that's a recipe for disaster with no boundaries. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So
everything starts from there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's kind of how my life story.
So was it like the internet or just straight friends influenced it?
You know, friends, I would say, quote unquote. You think they're your friends, but man, they ain't your friends, you know? Like anybody that's gonna let you see you destroy yourself, man, they ain't friends.
Mm.
Yeah.
So after they see the demise, everyone vanish.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So 16, flashy. So what happened next?
16, man, I was in and out of jail. I just kept messing up, had a really bad drug problem. And, you know, that's kind of how my life was until I hit my mid-20s when I hit, you know, the big time with my big crime spree I had, you know, with the pharmacy robberies. And, you know, thank God that nobody was hurt. You know, I got to say that I'm just grateful, man. Just, you know, to be able to still be here today.
So was it that robbery spree, those robbery spree that have been in, was that a part of your lifestyle? Part of the drug?
Yeah, you know, the police chase, you know, it was me mainly, honestly, just trying to. I already knew I was going to prison for a long time, so it was like, for me, it was like I just gonna make the police work for it at that point. But you know, it was definitely a scary experience. You know, when I look back at, you know, the police had ran me into a Jersey barrier, and my left wheel caught the Jersey barrier after the third hit, and it was literally like boom. Every time my car, you know, the police car hit me, my left there's this Jersey barrier on the left lane.
Yeah.
I'm in the left lane, and they got a tractor trailer in front of me, and the cop car is on the right side. So they're trying to box me in, and I knew the police were on the CB radio with the truck driver because the truck was almost trying to box. Yeah. They almost had me to a complete stop, and that's when, instead of me stopping like I should have, I turned the wheel sharp to the right, and I slammed into the cop car, and I peeled off. And I was convicted of all this, you know, and I did my time in West Virginia State Penitentiary, and I'm very remorseful for what happened, and I'm very grateful that nobody got hurt in the police chase. I'm definitely grateful that the officer did not get hurt. But you know, this just goes to show you how stupid I was back then. You know, it was stupid, and I'm lucky to not get seriously injured out of all that either. But when when the car hit me, the third hit, my left wheel caught the barrier, and I literally did a somersault in the car and then landed back on four wheels in the median of the interstate. And when I hit, the whole car just bottomed out, and that's when the car just died. I'm sitting there trying to hit the gas pedal, and I'm so intoxicated too. And I'm trying to hit the gas pedal, and man, I can't. The car's not moving, so I jumped out, and that's when it was bad. I can laugh at it now, you know, but back then, I'm telling you,
it's good to laugh at it, Lord. That's man. That should be like motivation for you right now.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because back then, I look at all the stupid shit I did back then, man, and I'm just like, how stupid was I? You know, because you know I'm missing out on real life. You know, and
I don't think it was you, Jesse. I think it was a drug.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're seeing it right now in this society. People are going and acting crazy.
Mm.
And there's a point when they're in comfort zone, it's a different person from when they're actually outside of that comfort zone. It's like they transform. And when they are boots up and when they go on that pill or that drug, it's a different person. Because that drug comes with spirit. That's literal spirit. Because you transform.
Yeah.
You're a different person, you know? So how many time did you spend in correction?
I spent 6 years in the state penitentiary in the state of West Virginia. Four of the years I spent at Mount Olive Correctional Complex, and the remaining 2 years I served at Salem Correctional Center. And both prisons really influenced my life a lot. Once I got incarcerated, I started being active, playing basketball. I did basketball leagues. I did softball leagues there. I even did a little volleyball leagues in there. Just stayed active. I lifted weights, exercised, trying to keep my mind right. I also, took the time to go to college in prison. I was, a few credits shy of getting my associate's degree, but, I took advantage of the resources that were available to me in there because they offered me a free opportunity to go to college. I'm going to jump right on top of that.
Of course.
Of course. So, I'm very blessed, very grateful that, the Department of Corrections in the state of West Virginia rehabilitated me. I gotta honestly say, it's just my downfall was when I got out, I had that ego and I felt that I could use again. And, that was a huge downfall for me because, once you do that first shot of dope, you're back in it again. It's that quick. It's that easy. And if it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be alive today because she found me overdosed last year. And it was shortly after I had completed a rehabilitation program. And it was very scary for all of us because she had to see me dead. And I was literally dead.
Wow.
And, like I said, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be alive. She called 911 and, they had to bring me back.
I want you to give a shout out to your wife right now.
Yeah.
I know where your wife is. I want to tell her a good job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, come on, baby.
Oh, yeah. We got to see it. This is how it should be. A woman should have her husband or a man, whichever boyfriend back.
Exactly. It was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Never seen.
You can sit beside him.
Oh, I can. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know I could join.
Yeah.
I never. I love you. I never expected to see anything like that in my life. I never hung around people that did. Well, not trying to be like that, not judgmental, but I've done my fair share of stupid stuff in my life, but never once did I ever see anybody do that actual drug. Still, I haven't seen anyone actually do it. But whenever that situation happened that night, I'm so glad I came back home because I was going to stay at my friend's house. And thank God every single day that I did come back home. Something told me to go back home. And not 15 minutes after being home is whenever he just started to lose conscious. And at that point, I still thought it was just a pill or two of a pain medicine. And once I saw him in what state he was in, I knew it was something more.
It was fentanyl. And I'm telling you, it was literally like a crumb. It wasn't much at all. And I never would have thought that tiny bit of amount would have killed me, literally.
It was very scary. The only thing I could think of, I knew I needed to call 911. I just got up to the chair and I was constantly breathing breaths of air into his lungs. Like I could feel and see him fading away. Whoa. And I'm on the phone with 911 crying and hysterical, just constantly breathing into his lungs. And I feel like if I didn't breathe into his lungs, I feel like that helped a lot by keeping his oxygen moving through his blood and everything. I don't know if that helped him at the end of the day more or less than not, but I know for sure if any more time we're waiting without calling 911, he wouldn't be here at all. And I'm so thankful. I mean, there's a reason why he's here. he's always been there for me through things. He's helped me out in so many ways, and I'll never, ever, ever want to ever deal with that again. That would be never. I love you so much.
I love you.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of you too, Jesse.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
You got a lot of people that didn't make it this far to tell the story literally. I'm really proud of you, brother.
And that's the best thing he is here.
And she's the reason why you're here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, she's the reason why you're here. And I hope somebody's learning from this, Jesse. I want you to share. I want you to talk to somebody right now and tell them, oh, you make it out of this, and how they can make it out of this, literally.
Man, just keep your faith, literally. Keep that spiritual strength, and keep practicing it every day, and try to persevere through whatever you're going through by the power of prayer. And I'm telling you, good things will come out of it at the end of the day. And it's simple as that. And, the problem is a lot of us, we don't do it every day because our egos get in the way, and we rationalize and we make excuses, about a lot of things in life. We want to do what we want to do, that's what it comes down to. And we have to kind of check ourselves each day and really, be humble, have humility, and, and that's something we all need to try to do every day,
Is there a success story for you guys? Is there anything successful you guys have achieved?
We've been through so much in the short amount of time we've been together.
It has been.
It's insane. I would love to write a book about
it.
Just our short time together, not only our entire lives, but we've been through one thing after another. Great things, bad things. But at the end of the day, I mean, here we are, and I've never been happier. The funniest one was we fell in love at our job. I was training him on the flat top grill at my family's restaurant, and we fell in love. Everybody was like, "Oh, this is too fast," and all this stuff, and we just connected. We were so much alike. It's unbelievable. Like, I feel like I've known him my entire life. And like how he says all the time, like, if I knew you back in the day, da 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 da, and
we always say
there's a reason why. Thank gosh, like God crossed our paths. I mean, it took 36 years, but better late than never.
36 years?
Yeah.
You guys been together?
Oh, no. It took us that long to finally.
How long have you guys been married?
A year.
Almost a year.
The
29th of this month. Yeah.
Okay.
Apart from that situation when you actually saved his life, tell me one major obstacle in marriage.
Oh gosh, like that moment was this. I mean, it made our relationship a lot better. It did. Of course. It made our relationship way stronger. Of course, I don't know. I can't really explain. It's hard to explain exactly, but I had a lot of trust issues with him after that. I'm terrified of what he could be doing behind my back. And I had very good reason, because let me tell you one thing, when a mother has a motherly instinct, or anybody can have that inner feeling, mine has never led me wrong, because he kept lying to me the day after. He had kept whatever the crap he had in his cigarette pack. He kept it in there throughout the hospital visit. When they brought him back, it stayed in his pocket the next day.
Yeah.
And I said, I've never hung out with people who did that. I've been around people doing drugs, don't get me wrong, but never like heroin. So I never knew the effects of how long people nod out. Well, the next day we're home after his emergency visit. He's like, constantly like nodding out. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Is this how long it like lingers? And come to find out, we went to work the next day and he started doing it at work. So now this is like 72 hours after the original overdose happened. He's at work nodding out, and my sister comes to me. She's like, there's something wrong with Jesse. He needs to go to the emergency room. And I was like, what the F? Like, I was so angry. Oh my gosh. And I was about to take him back to the emergency room. And come to find out, that inner feeling came amongst me again. I pulled the car over and I had to literally cry it out. I mean, he's a very strong person, I mean, he wasn't like fighting me, but he was not letting go. Oh, and I pried it out of his hand. That's the first time I'd ever seen it, and it's never held it in my hand, of course, ever. And I just took it and I crumbled it all over the ground, like all over the cement ground. And I was so angry. The only thing that I knew to do was to call my dad. He's the only person that I can ever talk to about things like this. And he's a very good person of like wanting to help us and help him. He's always, been there for Jesse, even though all the stupid shit Jesse's done. But everybody deserves a second chance.
True.
And I'm so grateful. So many people are like, you need to leave him. It's not too late to file for an annulment. And I was like, no, I did not promise God that I would be there for him. I mean, yes, death do us part. He did die, but I'm not giving up on my word.
You came back. Yeah, we came back. So that promise still stands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a sign,
And
our goal in our future, we want to have a baby of our own. We are looking forward to the better things in life to come. I feel now 100% like I don't have to worry so much about like the not trusting him. I trust him, but like I've been told and taught over time, it's not just it's reassuring, I guess you could say, or verifying is the word. To go back and just make sure, like if I ever suspect something, I'm not kidding. Like the other day, I mean, not saying that I was giving anything to be suspicious of, but just to ease my mind, I'm like, okay, like, is there anything in your cigarette pack? It's just like something weird. It's just like I
understand. Because you're going to look for signs.
Yeah.
You're
I
going to
haven't
look for
seen
signs.
anything and I haven't felt anything. And I'm telling you, once I have that feeling, I'm always right with it.
I follow that instinct.
I don't want to say I'm psychic, but I literally.
It's just hard. You got to put the work in. You got to. You got to put the hard work. You got to put the work in.
It's work. It's nothing to be. It can't just done like.
Right.
It takes years, sometimes months, sometimes weeks, sometimes a whole life.
It's gonna be a lifetime.
Yeah.
Like not say struggle, but you're constantly going to be working.
It gets easier. It gets easier over time. It ain't a struggle. I mean, you gotta eventually. You gotta learn to be happy. You have to. When it comes to your mental health, I mean, you have to take your medication. It's called medication management. It's very important to take exactly what your psychiatrist give you prescribed daily because,
That's important.
Very important.
You guys went to psychiatrist? You went to psychiatrist?
Yeah, I went through it, yeah.
That's very, very important because to overcome this, you need strength. And you cannot strength.
You got to get your mental health in check. You got to get your mental health in check. I mean, that's very important. Because for me, I mean, before I was very unbalanced, and I've fortunately been able to work with my wife, and her and I have been we've been doing it together and been able to work on our counseling, been able to work on our mental health being aware of it and being able to work with each other. That's where the true strength comes from and the true love. Really, being able to recognize it and be able to put it in check. Because I'm telling you, like, once you get on the right medication, as far as your depression, your anxiety, you just feel so much better. And then, you're able to start making more competent decisions in your life, and things just kind of play out, for the good.
Yeah.
But it's a process. It's definitely a process. It does not happen overnight. I'm telling you, it takes sometimes a year. It might take a couple years, but I'm telling you, there is that light at the end of the tunnel. There really is.
Grass is greener on the other side.
Definitely. Definitely.
Another big thing I would like to put out there too, in all this, it's not just the person and their healing themselves. That's very important. It's also the way their decisions affect other people and the way they feel. If it's not your kids, your family, your wife, your parents, everybody around you. Regardless, it's a very big thing for everybody. And I'm sure hopefully everybody has the support that they need
Yep.
and the backup and reassurance and the love.
That's true. That's true.
Not
That's
to
true.
give up.
Everyone, yeah, that's true. You need to overcome this. You can't do it by yourself. You